I've never asked you this. How dark was that time for you?
Richard.
It is crazy, Chael. You have to acknowledge this, right? It is crazy.
Okay.
You work for ESPN and Bellator.
Yes.
No one gets to do
Yes.
that. I don't know how you pulled this off, but it's amazing when you consider the fact that 5 years ago, you were pretty much persona non grata, right?
Sure. No, good things happen to bad people. That was the one that our mothers had wrong. Yes, sometimes cheaters do win, Ariel. So, I mean, it's kind of, broad stroke statement to say otherwise. But, okay, I will tell you this. Yeah, you brought up a dark time. So here's something that I've had said about me. I've read it and never really known what it meant. And I've heard, I can remember a headline, meteoric rise, and then a whatever, for whatever the fall is.
Right.
What do you say in astronomy? You get the meteoric rise, and you got the meteoric fall, epic fall, whatever it was. And I would hear these things. I didn't know a damn thing about it. I never knew when things were going good in the sport or when things were going bad in the sport. I never knew anything about it. I had like a life that was built on a very regimented schedule. Every day would start with my dog Danger getting me up to take him outside. I mean, it was one of these things where if things were really good or things weren't good or you had to make some adjustments, I never knew the difference. Like every day was the same for me. 3 o'clock, be in the truck. 3:30, be on the mat, ready to practice. All the stuff. All the way to going to practice in the evening and coaching the kids wrestling. I just did the same thing every day. So I never really knew a damn thing about it. And I've had people ask me that. You were in some really dark moments, and how'd you get through the tough spots, and how did you move forward? I never knew. I didn't have some great story, Ariel. I was like immune to it.
Really?
I enjoy the product a lot, man. I'm a big fan. Whether I was licensed or unlicensed or wanted to do it or now retired, my involvement's never really changed, at least from how I feel inside. I want to see those other guys. I want to make predictions for who the next star is going to be or who's going to win the main event on Saturday. That stuff's fun. That's just fun.
You didn't resent
big
it?
fan. No.
Really?
No, I didn't resent it.
You didn't resent the sport?
No.
The networks? None of it?
No, I didn't resent any of that. I mean, you got to understand, too, Ariel, when you're wrong, I was wrong in that situation. Sure. If you're wrong, I mean, you live with it. You got to be a man about it. You want to do the crime, you got to do the time. I mean, this is like the basic rule, right? So I had to go sit in the principal's office. That's the way that it went. I will tell you, though, there was some real kindness to that. Like, I was at a show called UFC Tonight, which for the space, as you'll remember, Ariel, that was #1 rated show at that time.
When I was on it.
Sure, when you were on it.
And then when
we weren't. Remember that day Nate Diaz came down there looking for us?
Yes,
hey, where's Chael? Where's Helwani? That was great. But I will tell you, like, Daniel Cormier, when he got in for that spot, called me and was saying, man, do you mind? I want to...
Oh, that's nice of him.
It was very, very sweet gesture. But it's like, Daniel, of course not. Of course not.
Wow.
And if the roles were reversed, don't expect you're going to get this call for his competition.
Okay, so you wouldn't have called him.
Well, we have a relationship, so I suppose if you're being serious, yes, I would have gone about it the right way. There was a time when I ended up over there at Fox, and it was a job that Randy Couture had.
That's right.
And I told Dana, hey, man, you got to give me 10 minutes. I got to call Randy.
Right.
I just called Randy and said, hey, what's going on with this? You mind if I accept this invitation? He said, I already sent my papers. I'm not going. You'll be great at it.
Wow.
Take and go.
That's a nice friend.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just saying, yes, I think that perhaps I would have called Daniel in that same spot, but I'm just sharing with you more the mindset that I didn't think he needed to. Mm-hmm. I didn't think there was anything bad about that. This guy's embarrassed us, or this guy's broke rules, whatever the combination of that is, this guy's got to go. Okay, great, well, somebody has to sit there.
Sure.
I mean, what's the golden rule? The show must go on.
Right.
We're just going to pack up and go home.
If I would have told
fight
you
this
that
out
in 5 years, you'd be in the position that you're in now, like on all these shows, traveling so much, all this stuff, would you have believed me, or were you starting to think like, maybe I have to think of doing something else?
Sure, 5 years ago, no, I don't think I would have believed you. And don't forget that there's a good reason to not believe that. Like ESPN, by example, was a very small player 5 years ago.
Yeah. They
were starting to show an interest, and Glenn was starting to get the troops together and start. He had a plan, sure, but it still wasn't executed. And now the fact that the Fox is out and the ESPN is the sole distributor, no, I don't think I would have ever believed that would happen that quickly. Yeah. Years never finished less than second. Not one time. Not one time.
Undefeated.
The greats really can't say that. No, there were some silver medals in all truth. That whole undefeated thing was more of a shtick.
Right.
But never less than second. That is true. Three different weight classes over 3 decades.
No, it's incredible.
Really quite remarkable. 11 world champions.
Why aren't you answering my question?
8 of them.
Do you miss it?
8 world champions.
Do you ever get the itch?
Hey, is Rampage coming back to Bellator?
What the heck? Oh, okay.
But is he? I mean, I'm hearing weird things.
He looked really big in his last fight.
I understand that he looked big, but he's also made a commitment to 205 pounds. And the lighter he gets, the better he gets. I'm not sure that his days
are... Rampage?
No, not in the least. I'm interested in watching Rampage fight.
Are you?
Yeah, it was just a... Now that was very snide.
I mean, I'm just
that
saying.
was very snide how you said that.
What about his last?
Paige is the kind of guy who come look for you. By the way, right? I mean,
hope he doesn't listen to this. We had a long. Speaking of feuds, we had a 3-year feud where he would. When he came back to the UFC and fought at UFC 186, told the UFC brass that he refused to have me do the backstage interview with him. So they had to take me out just for the Rampage interviews.
Sure.
And perhaps a sign of things to come because, it's never been...
You are to Rampage as I am to John Jones.
Yes.
Banned.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, my ban list is a little longer. But,
you're adding to it.
That's right. They call you the bad guy, but I feel like I'm giving you a road for your
But wait
money.
a second. By the way, is Rampage fighting good? Do you have any scoop on that?
No.
Okay.
Did you see his last fight?
I did with Fedor.
It was a little uninspired.
I understand, but if he had a contract, or I'm just.
But why are you bringing up Rampage though?
I meant to ask you earlier. We were talking about something completely different. This is a random thought, but I just reconnected the dots. You asked me if I missed it, and for some reason, Rampage jumped into my head. I do miss it a little, Ariel, but I think I maybe was lucky just in that. Man, I squeezed that thing for as long as I can, as tight as I felt like I got every bit of juice out of it. So, one thing that's very hard in life, not just in sport, in any kind of life, is regret. So I don't have regret, which I think is a positive. But more than anything is I just miss the boys. Like I didn't realize how much of my social going to practice. Apologize, that's driving you crazy.
No,
I keep grabbing this bottle.
No, I didn't even
giving
notice.
me a look. Okay.
I actually wasn't. I swear.
So, but I didn't realize how much of my social life was dependent on pre-practice warm-up, or you go into the locker room after, shower time, just visiting with the guys. That part I do miss.
Do you still go to the gym?
Yeah, I go in pretty often, but there's a big difference when you're in there twice a day, every day, so 10 times a week, and going in there 3 times a week. I mean, it's a big difference.
Would you ever get into coaching? Like
I
protege?
just finished the season. I only
Season
coach
of what?
wrestling. I only coach
no,
wrestling.
but MMA fighters.
Yeah, no.
Why?
Well, I don't particularly enjoy it. I know really good coaches. I like to put guys in contact with the really good coaches, make an introduction. This is Clayton Hires. He'll fix your hands up, whatever it may be, something along these lines. But there's a lot of knuckleheads in MMA, in all fairness. You're dealing with some young guys with some egos, and they're not always the brightest guys. It can be frustrating. I think I want to finish the thought there because it sounds a little bit rude. I wasn't looking to be. But I've just seen gyms come and go, and I'm not really... I wouldn't get into it for the money or that kind of side. I would get it to be part of something with somebody young that had a goal and a dream, and maybe I could be the mentor that had been there and done that, and here's how we get from A to Z. That would be fun and make me feel something good inside. And I do watch a lot of those guys, man. They jump around gyms, they leave, they're not loyal. I think that would probably be devastating.